Hi guys and welcome to another Jeremy Hunt of the Month. This guy isn't British, but he certainly would have a place in Rishi Sunak's cabinet. So a man called Tim Gurner, who is the founder and CEO of the aptly named Gurner Group, gave a speech to the Financial Review's Property Summit where he had some interesting things to say about workers. Frankly, he thinks that they are too arrogant and he would like to see unemployment at about 40%, which would see people fighting for scraps. A wonderful individual. Have a listen.
I think the problem that we've had is that we have people decided they didn't really want to work so much anymore through COVID, and that has had a massive issue on productivity. Tradies have definitely pulled back on productivity. They have been paid a lot to do not too much in the last few years, and we need to see that change. We need to see unemployment rise. Unemployment has to jump 40-50% in my view. We need to see pain in the economy. We need to remind people that they work for the employer, not the other way around. I mean, there's been a systematic change where employees feel the employer is extremely lucky to have them, as opposed to the other way around. So it's a dynamic that has to change. We've got to kill that attitude, and that has to come through hurting the economy, which is what the whole global, the world is trying to do. The governments around the world are trying to increase unemployment to get that to some sort of normality. And we're seeing it. I think every employer now is seeing it. I mean, there is definitely massive layoffs going off. People might not be talking about it, but people are definitely laying people off, and we're starting to see less arrogance in the employment market, and that has to continue because that will cascade across the cost balance.
There you have it. I may be mistaken in thinking that he meant that it needs to increase by 40-50% as opposed to reach 40-50% unemployment. Anyway, that's beside the point. He wants unemployment to rise so that workers will be desperate and they will show more respect to the employer. And the employer is the boss, not the worker. That, it shouldn't be the case that the employer is dancing to the worker's tune. It should be the other way around. You expect these things to be said behind closed doors, not at a property summit, not, to the cameras. We need to make people suffer. We need to hurt the economy. We need to see more unemployment so that workers are more desperate for work and they'll beg to their employers for scraps. Sometimes people like this come along and they present arguments in such a frank way that it's much better than any professor or any economist can present. You have this arrogance from these business owners who basically treat their staff as tools, as a cost, not as people. And notice how he said during COVID people became lazy, people didn't want to work as much and productivity went down. Something wonderful that came out of the pandemic was that people realized they could work from home. People realized they could spend time with their families. They could spend time on their hobbies. And there was flexible working before the pandemic, but it meant after that, more and more people could avail of it. Now, it really upsets some people, business owners, property people with massive property portfolios, of course, they were extremely concerned about that because it meant fewer people going into the office, less office space required, less office space rented. But the sheer arrogance here that, the workers are our tools, they're our weapons, we need to use them. They're not humans, they don't deserve respect. They should be begging us for work, not the other way around. Just the sheer audacity of this guy. But it's important that we actually hear these things because this is what many employers think. These are the thoughts of many business owners. They just don't come out and say it so frankly. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.